I am Anthony from Haslage, and today we're going to recap Politically Correct Seasons 1 and 2. With Season 3 forthcoming, it is nice to remind ourselves of our television roots. The original 2 seasons were produced by Mike Paciotti and Sandy Morris, with myself as the host. With me for a majority of the original episodes is this man, Jeremy the Madmann, DJ, wrestling commentator, and referee. Hey, Jeremy.
Hey, man, what's going on?
So, between you and me, we actually going to just recap all of the episodes. Now, for anybody who never watched the original series, it was recorded on TV. It was on local cable. And they recorded it for why, I don't know, until like Betamax. And we actually lost one of the episodes because the tape was bad. And and then when they went to digital, they couldn't export the episode, so all they have is audio. So what we're going to do today is we're going to listen to each of the episodes just a little bit and kind of just remember back to how the episodes were, you know, as far as, frankly, you can go listen to them right now. The address of the episode or season 1 is currently at the bottom of the screen here. They are hilarious. So season 1 had 11 episodes. Season 2 had 11 episodes. For season 1, the episodes were the internet, media, government. The episode we last was episode 4. So then episode 5 is democracy, and then education, terrorism, wrestling, legalization, military, and anime. And so, what do you remember from the entire? Because you were with me for almost the entirety. I think maybe you missed 1 or 2 episodes.
Yeah, it was very seldom because I remember I wanted to be a part of that because it was, let's be honest, they were fun to do. They really are, and I enjoyed being a part of it. But what I remember, like I said off camera, the one I really remember, actually the 2 I remember the most are the military one and the wrestling one. Those are the ones I really, and we started going through some of the other stuff already, and we talked about, you know, the season 1 was 2004. That's crazy to think we're sitting here right now, almost 16 years later, saying we did this in 2004.
Yeah,
especially on some of the topics that we just heard.
Yeah, so go ahead and play the opening to episode 1 here.
Sure. All right.
And again, everything is available on the Internet Archive, so you can go ahead and listen to these episodes for free for yourself. They run about an hour. Some run a little bit longer.
Yeah, they're with the exception of episode 8, which is an hour and 52 seconds. Everything. But here we go.
Welcome to Politically Crowded, a discussion on the local and world political social landscape with an amateur comedic twist. You may ask why this program's name sounds familiar. It is simple. We borrowed parts and names from other shows and meshed them together and got this name. Never said we were original, just amateur and comedic.
Nice introduction, Don Pardo. Okay.
Don Pardo.
Yeah. Word of advice. While this show is on basic cable and radio for the most of you, many of the topics we cover will not be necessarily children-friendly. We will curb the bad language, but some discussions may scare or even corrupt children. Now that's out of the way, if you have a pacemaker, you should probably change the channel now, because our voices have been known to give out electronic magnetistic type pulses, which can basically kill you.
So a little bit of a confession there. It was the first time I ever read off of a second screen for a script, so my eyes weren't able to keep up. And
were you reading off the teleprompter?
I can't remember if it was just a computer screen or an actual teleprompter, but I remember not being able to keep up and going, in my head I'm screaming like, I am screwing this up. It's horrible. It was funny, in 2004 on the internet, I was building computers out of garbage, so.
Right.
But
we all?
The funny thing is, we in this episode we talk about the first iPhone. And playing MP3s, and I'm like, man, we were ahead of the curve.
Yeah, right. Because I don't even think. iPhone was first, right, before Android.
Right.
Correct? And then Android's like, hey, we got to jump because didn't Android, like, their whole selling point was kind of the reason why they called it Android was because of R2-D2. Correct?
I don't know. I honestly, I own them, but I never went into their history. But I think the whole goal was to be like the anti-Apple. So
Right.
you basically anybody can make an Android device if you
Right.
have the programming knowledge. But go ahead, let's find out who was in this episode today. Obviously, you and me.
Right.
Jeremy Hudgens. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yes.
Okay. Public relations for radio and anime clubs. Okay. In front of him is Kevin Bourne. He is a member of Anime, former president and vice president.
No, I was former president.
Okay. To his left is Chris Haslage, who happens to be my brother, and the one that did the announcing. He's the radio club vice president. And then in front of him and to my right is Adjua Abu-Su Mensa. Oh, very good. I got it right. Financial secretary of the Student Senate. Okay. Now, this show is broken up into sections, and the first section, and all of this stuff today is related about internet. The first section is about eBay. Some people like it, some people don't like it. We'll even throw in a little Napster there because, Pepsi has a new commercial out.
Wait. I got to start here. Why would you throw in Napster with eBay?
Because Pepsi, just this last week, over at the Super Bowl, actually released a commercial saying, and the girl goes, I was one of those sued for illegally downloading files off the internet. Now, Pepsi is letting me speak to you to let you know it's now legal and you can do it too.
What?
Oh, yes.
I heard it on the radio.
Yes, it was. I was on my computer and I went, whoa, I can download music legally now?
When did this start?
Apparently at the Super Bowl. Basically what they're going to let you do is, I guess through Apple, is you're able to log in there. And
won't you have to pay for the songs? Is that
I don't know. It says go to the iMac.
No, I think you have a
whatever.
limit to how many number of songs you can.
Don't you have to be a member though?
Yeah.
You have to do. You have to go to some website or something. You know.
Yeah.
So basically, the gimmick was to get you to use their new service because they were trying to roll out. I guess it was the what was it, the iStore or whatever they call it. I don't even know what they call it.
The Apple
The App Store. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because Steve Jobs had the genius idea of putting MP3s up somewhere where people could pay to download them, and that is how.
Concept, huh?
And that is how Apple made its first book. No, Apple was already rich at that time, but yeah, that led to the iPod, the iPhone, the iMac, the everything. Captain.
iPod Nano.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so on to the second episode, sir.
All right, second episode.
Let's listen to that intro.
All right, let's see. This one's talking about the media.
Politically crowded. I'm not going to get into the crap I did last time. So basically, we're comedic, we're political, we're amateur, we're not original. So, there you go.
Congratulations.
In the history of all great television shows, there's an occasion where, the staff and writers don't feel like doing anything. So we get the editors to go off and make a clip show. And we're no exception.
This is episode 2, by the way.
Except the problem is we only have one episode under our belt, so I guess we'll just do a regular show this time. I'm Anthony Haslage, your host, and with me, my guests are Jeremy Hudgens. I'm never going to pronounce it right.
It's okay.
Public Relations for Anime Society and Radio Club. Recording Secretary Sandy Morris from Radio Club. Vice President of Radio Club and dressed in dress clothes,
Yes.
Chris Haslage. And next to me, clapping her hands, is Adjua Obu-Su Mensa, who's
Right there.
Financial Secretary of Student Senate. Now, we'll quickly get into the first topic, and we have 6 today. So the first topic is obviously college media. And Chris here actually has some good news, so go ahead, Chris.
I think Sandy should say it because she has such a pretty voice.
Oh, you want me to tell the news about the radio station?
Yeah, I want you to tell them.
She's starting to bounce.
Yeah, one sip of caffeine, she's bouncing. Yeah, why don't you tell the news?
Okay, well, we are going on the internet March 1st.
Yay!
So that's the
For how long?
today.
For how long?
Actually, I think they said it's a go. They approved.
No. How many hours?
24/7?
All right.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
So basically, in 2002, I came to the college before I even enrolled, and I proposed a radio station. Now, I didn't know at the time that the college had a radio station that they hadn't used in over a decade. And when they showed it to me, it literally had 8-track players and record players. It had no new technology. The only thing that we could salvage was the soundboard.
Yes.
And yeah, right. And
it's still there to this day.
right. Well, it was a heavy-duty professional soundboard, so it should be.
Let me give you an update on that soundboard real quick because I think it needs to be said. All right. The soundboard is running perfect. To my knowledge, the only thing they've ever done to it is cleaned it. Okay.
Well,
they didn't have to replace any wires or anything. Everything is still original in there. There is one pot that is a little wonky, but that's it. It still works beautifully.
So basically, what Sandy was announcing. Well, here's the funny thing: she's supposed to be running the camera. So what she did was set the camera out wide pan, so it could see everybody, and running between the camera and a seat. And essentially, she'd spent all day in the studio. So if you listen to the whole episode, she actually falls asleep twice. And and as people keep waking her up, essentially what the announcement is that the college radio station was approved money to revitalize it. And by this point in 2004, the equipment had been bought, the station had been set back up, and now running with a computer and new technology. And they had just been approved to go live. So that is the type of miracles I perform.
And what's funny is now Sandy prefers to go by Alex.
Her first name is actually Alexandra.
Alexandria, right? So I do want to say that she goes by Alex now.
I think it's because it's more professional, and just like Mike Paciotti, she went into production. And for anybody who knows the Cleveland affiliate for NBC, Mike is actually a producer there now. And then
is he still a floor director?
I don't know. I know he's a producer.
I know Spank as a floor director because every once in a while, was it AJ Colby would be like, "Thanks, Spank."
And then Sandy, she moved out of state to get a production job. So so she had to go professional with that name.
Yes.
And I think SpongeBob kind of ruined it for her anyway.
I haven't talked to Sandy. I haven't talked to Alex in a little while. But she's actually back here in Ohio, and doing some really cool things with herself. So I'll have to reconnect and see how she's been. But let me tell you, man, wow, what a blast from the past where we actually heard that we were getting ready to go on the air.
Yeah.
As Duck Radio.
Right. Is it still Duck Radio?
Now referred to as Boom Radio.
Yeah.
So,
okay, so on to episode 3, which is about the government. Let's hear that intro and who's on the show today.
Okay, welcome to Politically Crowded. Over the weekend, Ralph Nader announced that he was going to try to run for president again. I rather enjoyed his last run. Although I learned after that fact that he's actually the reason why we have seatbelts in cars.
Yes, he is.
No. The guy sitting here don't know that. Did you know Roger?
Yes, I did.
Oh, see, Roger knew. Yeah, so I didn't feel bad about voting for him, even though he got like 5% of the actual vote.
Holy smokes, we got Roger on here.
Oh, yeah. For those who didn't know, Roger was my boss in student
down to
life.
stupidity, I guess. I was just voting for the guy who wasn't the rest of them.
Beginner's luck.
Now, quickly, for those who are sensitive to politics and take it seriously, or those who are kids, probably not a good idea to keep tuning in. So, go listen to WDOK or something.
DOK is soft rock, like your parents' music.
Event committee chair for the Anime Society.
How's it going?
Also does radio club things, so a little bit there. Program coordinator of Student Life, Roger Campbell.
Hi.
Okay, now we'll start off with Nader's little announcement there. Now, obviously,
as we know, Nader obviously won. He is president still to this day because he became president for life.
Because independence, Ross Perot thinks he's going to come up with a negative approach, try to get a little bit more than just a 5%. I think it was 4 or 5% of the actual vote.
So
was it just you, I, and Roger?
I think it said Kevin was there too, but that's It was a dry episode because it was about governments, elections. It was probably because Roger, first off, is a funny guy, but in this type of settlement, he didn't seem to to bring what I expected from him, which is fine. But
well, you see,
it's a
because
serious episode.
You got Roger Campbell, college Roger Campbell. You didn't get off hours Roger Campbell.
Yeah,
because those are two different things. Roger Campbell college, professionalism. Roger Campbell off campus, funny son of a bitch.
So episode 4, right? So episode 4 got lost to the era. So let's move on to episode 5, which is Democracy. So let's play that intro and see who's on the show.
Welcome to Politically Crowded. Well, we're going to go a little international today, so we actually have 3 semi-international sisters. Well, 2 of them are international for sure, and one of them's from Puerto Rico. So, you know,
I don't think I'm on this one.
Everybody here has been outside the state of Ohio, so we're all worldly in a sense. I'm Tony Haslage, your host, and to the left of me is Adjua Obusu-Mensah. Yay!
I never realized how many times Adjua was on the show.
Without a mic, over next to Adjua there, because the mic broke. You hear him in the background. Jeremy Hudgens.
Oh, I was on this show, son of a gun.
So far you're batting 100.
Yeah, no
Across
kidding.
from him is Rebecca Nieves. She's a student worker with Women's Link.
Hello.
Next to her is Kevin Bourne. He's the Anime Society member guy who's also former...
Also, Kevin was in a lot of episodes.
Yes, he was.
And to my
I think it's
right
because
is
you
Tamira
just
Nephew.
recorded them when we were...
If you misspell her, or if you mispronounce her name, it's a cuss word. Because it's funny. Is that quite an
He swore very quietly so the mics wouldn't pick it up.
Okay.
That's why everybody
First
laughed.
off, obviously, last week was the big presidential primaries, and John Kerry won. Or at least at this point. They're basically calling him the winner.
For the Democrats.
And they say John Edwards should be the second.
Right.
Now, we'll start with Adjua because she is from Africa, then from Canada. So, basically, is this the first time you've ever been around these type of elections, or
Or in the United States, yeah.
do they have these type of elections from where you're originally from and from Canada? Or?
Yeah, because I come from a democratic society, so yeah, we kind of experience the exact same thing.
Anything is heated, though.
No, not that much.
Okay. Would you consider our politicians dirty?
So essentially, Adjua was from a country in Africa that I don't even know if still exists because of the way they keep redrawing lines and renaming countries.
Right.
But the immigration policy from Africa is you kind of have to hang out in Canada for a few years before you get approved to come to the United States.
Really?
So, yeah. So Adjua, no, I don't know if it's still the same now.
That.
Yeah.
I never knew that. That's crazy.
Yeah. So Adjua, and then in a future episode, Tamara Nafumwe, or I might be mispronouncing.
Yeah, that was pretty darn close.
Yeah, both of them came from Africa, different countries. Both of them had to stick around Canada for a while for their paperwork to get approved. And in both cases, because one of their parents got a job in the United States and they were moving their entire families.
Right.
So Adjua and Tamara both have knowledge of our country from the outside, which is really a view nobody else could provide. So that is why you hear Adjua, and so far, most of the episodes we've covered. So go ahead, let's move on to episode 6 and check out that intro and who was in the show today, or that day.
All right, hang on. There we go. This is the college episode.
Okay, welcome to Politically Crowded, the only show where we get aired at 5 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday and then people complain. Go figure. Yeah, they thought
Good morning.
They thought we were community service. Go figure. Okay.
Us community service? What the heck?
Yeah, no.
Okay. Now to the left of me here is Tom Dake the second. Okay. He is.
Wow, the quality is bad of that episode.
Yay, go
I
Tom.
know.
Okay. Jeremy Hudgens is across from me here and next to Tom. He's Anime Society Public Relations.
And Radio Club relations, too.
Okay. Then across from him is Naomi Wire. She's the Campus Crusade for Christ officer. Well, she's one of them. Say something. Yeah, okay.
Morning.
And to my right is Tamara Nemfukwe.
There you go. There's Tamara.
There's Tamara. All right, so here's what I got. I paused it because just for the people that couldn't hear it, Tom Dake, who was, I don't remember if at that point he was a part of Senate.
Yeah, he was
a part of Senate.
Yeah, he was vice president with Tamara, and Agile were in that Senate with Mark Lehman was the president.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, the only 3-year president of 2-year college. Sorry, Lehman.
We kept making fun of that. Yeah, because
Oh my God.
yeah.
You know who made fun of that the most? Ron Jans, which he pretty much roasted him once on doing that. It was the most hilarious thing ever. So Tom Dake, myself,
Tamara.
Naomi, who you said, and Tamara. Yeah. So that was us all. Yeah. Just to kind of recap, because I know the sound quality. Like I started that up and said, oh boy, that's
rough. Yeah, because that was the bad thing about it is they would reuse tapes over and over and probably longer than they should have.
Right.
Which is why we lose the video and the sound quality is crap. But I mean, nothing you can do about it. It's a community college who's paid by taxpayers. So
thank God for digital.
Right.
And the sound quality that we can produce now.
Okay, so let's go.
Even off web.
Right. Let's go on to episode 8, which is Where You Shine. So let's go do the intro and feels on that show today.
I think I know. Well, no. The next one is episode 7, Terrorism.
Oh, well, we're skipping that. We're going to episode 8.
Welcome to Politically Crowded. I'm your host, Tony Haslage, and with me today we have wrestling people, people who wrestle, wrestlers as they're sometimes called, or if you're an old person, wrestlers. If you're a really old person, guys who fight. So, now with me today is first off Jeremy Hudgens. I'm reading the wrong bio. I'm about to credit him for some old championship, but I don't have it. He's actually Anime Society's PR guy. Next to him is Brandon X, who is a MCW 2003 Rookie of the Year and the MWF Hardcore Champion. Okay, he had a comment insert, but I guess he decided not to do it.
You want me to say something?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Yeah, I'm here.
And last but certainly least, Chris Haslage, as he flips me off, program director of this station. So, quack quack. So we'll start off real quick. First, well, actually, you know what? Because we have somebody special here, and it's the first time it's a non-fanboy of something. Because if you may remember the anime show.
I'm glad I wasn't there for that one.
Okay. Actually, and I'm going to go off because Jeremy actually gave me a list of questions, but we're going to start with the first one, basically. A little bit about yourself, Brandon X.
Yeah.
So who it was Brandon X, it was you, it was Chris, me obviously. Who was the other person there?
I thought Traxler was a part of that one
too.
But
apparently it was Kevin, right?
I don't know.
Yeah. But I remember we covered the WCW WWF thing, and of course we covered a little bit of MCW because MCW was a local wrestling promotion that is still in existence today. If you catch our wrestling episode, Jeff Trexler, who runs that promotion, he was one of my guests with you. I say with you as in Jeremy, not with you, the person watching this. Let's go up to episode 9. It was about legalization. So let's hear that intro and who we had.
Well, welcome to Politically Crowded. Today we have a very interesting show. If you live in Nevada, you have already experienced what we're about to talk about, at least for the first topic. We're going to talk about the legalization of certain drugs, prostitution, and gambling. So we'll start off with, obviously, at least South Lorraine's favorite, marijuana. My neighbor has a small garden, and they keep it in a shed with false lighting. Now, I'm not saying that they're growing marijuana for profit, but they sure smoke it a lot. So I'm wondering, and we'll start with Sarah, since she's over here on my left.
Wait, we probably should do introductions because nobody introduced me. I feel so left out and gypped now.
Yeah, you didn't introduce
me.
Oh,
jeez, I forgot to do one thing. Everybody's okay. And in that case, on my left is Sarah Perrigan, VP of Fellowship. Next to her is Mark Lehman, President of the Student Senate. Across from me is Jeremy Hudgens. The one time I forget. Anyway, Anime Society Public Relations. And over by the camera, which you can't see because we're on radio, Program Director of LCC, Chris Haslage.
LCCC Radio.
LCCC. I gave you a promotion.
Okay, radio.
He's in charge of the college now.
Radio.
Oh, yeah, we might as well mention Do Not Feed the Cool Wednesday.
They won't know.
Oh, my God!
Also, this is why you don't do radio with your brother. Now, I should mention, that in addition to recording it, it was also played on the radio station now that it was established.
Right. Yeah, I forgot. You know what's funny? Because we brought up the don't feed the cool. Wow, I remember doing that, which is kind of hilarious. But yeah, wow, dude, wow.
So we're gonna skip past the military episode because it's another dry episode. So let's hear who introduction for the anime and find out who was there.
Welcome to Politically Crowded. It's me, Tony Haslage. I'm lame. I know. Shoot me now. Okay. Today's topic. Yeah. Thanks for the sneeze there. Well, edit that out and make it sound like something like more, funny. Okay. Today's is the anime part 2. Basically, the guy sitting to my left here said that the show we did before was the cut.
Yeah, it's the cut, right?
Yeah. We have to do another.
Politically correct. The cut's used only when you like a song.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It was a take.
It
Whatever.
was the take, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
The cut's like if it was a good song, like a George Thorogood song or something. You might say that's the cut.
Okay. Now, to my left is Ray Torres, founder of the Anime Society.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Whoa, everyone. How's it going?
Yeah, the audience is really loud today.
Hey, come on, kick it up, everybody.
To my right is Jeremy Hudgens. He has a very long title, and he might just tell you it because I don't know.
I am promotions of Duck Radio. I'm also PR for Anime and Radio Club.
Okay. Now, I just said the topic is anime, so we're going to start off with the first topic, mainly because Ray didn't know it existed, apparently. American anime. Now, Warner Brothers had a series called Teen Titans created.
So, Ray, who also worked in the TV studio, he kind of filled in when Mike and Sandy couldn't. And we were complaining to Ray before we started recording, like, hey, how come the episodes aren't being edited yet? And he's like, we ain't gonna edit these episodes for you. I'm like, what? Like, they're supposed to be 45 minutes in length. However, we keep getting the hour-long cuts, and nothing is edited. And at that point in time, I definitely didn't know how to edit audio or video. So because again, we would get the WAV version, and we would have the video version on tape. So I had no idea how to do any of that. So we basically played them raw on the radio. And I remember that Dr. Church, who was the president of the college at the time, we would get notes going, hey, you can't have these words on your channel because we do have occasions where people kind of let a bad word slip. So, right. Yeah, so we got in trouble a few times for profanity. And then I don't know if you remember this, Chris actually had to go through the music catalog of the radio station and insert the words radio edit whenever there was a swear in a song.
Yeah. I remember when we started, and then somebody wasn't paying attention, uploaded a song with an F-bomb in it. Now, here's where that gray line gets a little crazy. Being that it's internet radio, you can let that F-bomb fly, but because we were the college, we flew under FCC rules. So an F-bomb got slipped through. It was crazy. Like he even edited out the word ass on 55, and that was nuts. I was like, really, dude? Like, they're really stomping down on this? Like, get out of here. It was a crazy time. It really was.
Yeah. So we will skip into season 2, and if you're looking at the screen, of course, the address for that, you can listen to them on archive.org now. Episode 1 was terrorism. We're going to skip past that and go to the games episode. So let's hear who was at our games episode.
Too, because these aren't named on this one.
Well, just go to episode 2. It's games.
Okay, welcome to Politically Crowded. My name is Tony Haslage. I am your host for today, and let me introduce the panel. First off to my left is Erin Rowley, president of Pride.
Hi.
Okay. She didn't read the little light that's signed that says, please speak. Okay,
Sorry, I was...
We don't have a light in here,
I'm sorry, I was looking at the Star and Time magazine. I'll set it aside. I was distracted.
On my right is Jeremy Hudgens, the Duck DJ, former business guy.
How you doing?
And in front of me is Nate Oberall, the Senate UP representative.
Howdy.
Okay. And before we continue, I'm going to basically tell you that the opinions said here are the opinions of the panel and not that of the station nor the station's owners. And so we'll start with...
Or the colleges.
Well, this is the station's owners.
Oh, okay. Well,
Dude, plus this gets rebroadcast in HNER at some point, so you kind of want to protect all the bases here.
oh.
Although I am the station owner on that one. Okay, so that's
He
first off.
pleads the fifth.
Okay, we'll start with the first topic. Basically, scientists, I forget the country already, come out today and basically say, I think Italian scientists, come out and say after 7 years of research, they've decided that aspartame, because I keep pronouncing it aspartame.
So apparently we started talking about aspartame. I don't know why, but essentially the college had, because of the Sweargate situation, decided to listen to our show after the first season aired and told us that we had to provide a disclaimer that made it very clear that what we're saying is not the college saying it.
Well, which should have been, honestly, it should have been from day one. We should have had something like that. I mean, so it's not because, again, I mean, even on Duck Radio at the time, at the top of the hour, we had to, we had that, because we just had to.
Yeah, because they required it. It was just because at this point the station had been in play for at least 6 months, and so since we were also broadcasting this on the station, they figured because you're already doing the station ID at the top of every hour, so kind of just throw this on here. So the episode 3 was technology in the comic book. So I kind of like let's check out the intro of technology.
Okay.
And
so
then
we said episode 3. Yes, episode 3, part 1.
Yeah, because that's where the intro would be.
Okay, making sure.
Welcome to Politically Crowded. I'm the host, Tony Haslage. Before we get started, I should let you know that if you are strong of opinion or underage, probably you shouldn't listen. Plus, the opinions said here are those opinions of the people who said them, and they're not...
Our mic sucked. I have to point that out.
Okay, so they're communist leaders. And the owners, the station and the owners of that station, or whatever station this happens to be on, they're not responsible for anything. They just pay us to sit here and do this. So.
Well, you don't get paid.
Yeah, when do I get paid?
Yeah, what's the
I pay myself, and eventually this ends up on my station, so haha.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Introduce people. Yeah, well, that's okay.
Yeah.
We'll post it. Oh, hey, yeah, because, Jeremy Hudgens for DJ on this radio, on the Duck radio station is next to me, and next to him is Aaron Rowley from President Pride. So, our first topic, now, as we know, the second week of the Olympics has gone on, and, let's see, the week before last, there was a huge snowstorm. Now, Michelle Kwan, after a groin injury, decided to get back into the Olympics.
That wasn't a good idea.
Which apparently wasn't, because her replacement figured, you know what, I'm now an alternate, I'm going to go off to New York and have some good times. Well, at Blizzard. She got wasted by the Blizzard, and they couldn't find her, and Michelle Kwan pulled her groin again and had to leave, so...
Well, those that's something you mess with. I mean, that can seriously hurt you for the rest of your life.
There's some good groin injuries and some bad ones.
That was because she had one of the bad ones.
She had one of the bad ones, not the non-fun.
When is there a good groin injury?
Depends.
Unless you're like a football player and you got like this smoking hot sports med nurse.
Okay, so her replacement's stuck in New York. It's blizzard outside. Everybody's panicking. This is in our relative time scope. This is last week during the first week of the Olympics.
Did they find the chick?
Yeah, I think they found her like yesterday.
Where was she?
I don't know, but the snow melted in New York like on Friday.
Oh. Okay.
We couldn't find her until the snow melted.
Yeah,
that must mean she was in the snow.
Oh, yeah, it was right after we went and invaded Iraq.
And anybody left the snow melt.
Yeah, I'm surprised the college didn't kick you off after that. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Anyways, at last check, the United States is tied for Germany for 7 gold medals. However, Germany has the most medals overall.
Oh, because it was Norway.
Is that new today? Because, last night when I checked, it was Germany.
So, let's go to episode 9 where we talk about hobbies. Let's find out who was there.
Part 1, all right.
Okay, welcome to Politically Crowded. I'm your host, Tony Haslage. With me today is Jeremy Hudgens, our contributor, our stalker.
Connoisseur.
Oh, connoisseur, good word. Okay. Next to him, Jacob Rigo, who works at the Duct Tape Factory.
Oh my God, my buddy
He doesn't
Jake!
learn any of the duck stuff at all.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get my duck suit.
Yeah.
Your duck suit.
I'll fix that right now because that's why I always had a duck decal.
Oh yes, that's actually where he works.
Yes, Manco or Hankel.
Yeah,
There
you
oh boy.
And, of course, Nate Oberall, University Partnership Representative here for Student Senate.
Wow!
So go ahead and pause that. So for anybody who's watching, the Duct Tape Factory is actually like 3 exits east of the college where we were.
It is. Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
so you could literally go to the Duct Tape Factory if you really wanted to, although they prefer you just go to the store and buy duct tape. So
Yeah. you can.
so it's funny because we have Brandon X, and then we have this guy, and I literally think of those 2 seasons, those are the only 2 guests we had outside of the college.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that is my friend Jake, and him and I are still buddies, and he still works there. Believe it or not,
Okay.
he at the time he's actually got a higher ranking position now. He's actually like a manager there now.
You'd hope so after 15 years.
Well, sometimes people are a very what's the word I'm looking for? They like where they're at, But he actually he is now advanced and whatnot but I can't. Wow, I forgot about him being on a Politically Crowded. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And the reason why is for the Duct Tape Festival.
Yep. Which is an event that happens here, typically in Avon, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and it's an annual thing.
This is kind of funny to me now because now I actually judge comedy contests at Hilarities. So I'm going to listen to this after we're done, and I will probably be mad at myself because of it, but that's kind of funny.
Okay, well, let's go to episode 11 then.
Okay.
Yeah, so near the end of the 2nd season, apparently we just never could start on time. But it's a good song, right? So it's fine.
Oh, yeah. Peter Gabriel, I'm in.
Welcome to Politically Crowded. I'm Tony Haslage, the host. Before we begin, quick word of advice. The opinions stated here are simply opinions, is that of the person who says them, not of the station, and not of the owners of the station. To my left, Jeremy Hudgens. He is a current DJ, former something or other.
Business director.
Yeah, and now he is our biggest wrestling fan.
Yes, that is me.
Okay, next to him is Jacob Rigo. He works at the Duck Factory plant.
Duct tape, maybe?
Tape thing, yeah.
Maybe we recorded this episode the same time we did the other one.
I think so.
University Partnership.
We did 2 of these in a row, yeah.
Yeah, because Nate's there too. So yeah, we apparently did.
Now, I'm wondering, should we do like we did with the Super Bowl episode and have them wait until the first break?
No.
Oh, we'll get right into it right now.
Get right into it.
Okay, so WrestleMania 22 was on Sunday, April 2nd.
Wow, I'm going to stop it there. WrestleMania 22, holy smokes.
We're at like WrestleMania 36 or something now, aren't we?
We are.
So, feeling old yet?
Not that I'm feeling old, just this brings, I love nostalgia. And second of all, I totally forgot about Jake being a part of these. So this just makes me just happy, because it's funny. I found old bits that I did for when I went back to college in 2015 and 2016, and I was re-listening to those, and I was like, wow, I really had some fantastic ideas, still do. But I just, it's amazing to me to sit there and be like, how cool is this? Is that you go through those and then you still get some joy and get a smile out of what you done. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's why I'm doing YouTube. Because
I'll tell you what, man, I wish I could get a little bit better grasp on YouTube, because it seems like every time I go, hey, check out what I've got, everybody's like, no,
pass.
Yeah. What the hell, man?
So, because now thinking about the fact that we recorded in a studio, like a proper TV studio with a sound booth, I always remember the mics always being a problem. So,
Yes.
Batteries were always dead.
Right.
And these mics were these big old lapel mics that connected to this battery case that obviously had seen better time, and they probably like 20 years old.
Those mics were probably 15 years old when we wore them.
Right. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're still there, but
maybe as relics. Now, mind you, ever since the redo of ITMS, they have a proper studio now, and it's moved because remember they redid the library.
Yeah, it became the station and all that stuff. Or no, the station's in the CC Mall. The TV studio is in the old library.
No, not anymore.
Oh no, they moved it again because I know they did the tech thing over there, and right because the new library building.
The old library got done up different, and then what they did is they took ITMS, or they took the studio and they moved it into Spitzer.
Oh, okay. So where's iLoft
and
at?
They made it a proper studio, and they made it a proper control room. Like, the control room is hardcore. Like, you remember back in the day, it had one row of stuff there, and that was it? No, it looks like mission control from NASA now. Like, it's a proper studio. And when they redid that, I was so, because they had brand new cameras, I was so happy that these kids of now get to learn in a proper, not knocking what we learned on, because that's fine, but I am so glad that these kids of today get to have that experience where they didn't have to have the old stuff, because they'd be losing their minds. You know what I mean?
I remember the struggle to modernize the communications at the college. Because when I first proposed it, I literally got the message back, "What is internet radio?"
Oh, well, that's the thing, back in the day, you had all those the folks there, the folks that have been there a while. Not that they weren't, it's not like they kept up on technology, and that's not to discredit them or anything, but they were in their set ways.
Well, because the college was run pretty much by baby boomers, so you had people who weren't really up on new technology. I believe most of them had flip phones, so they were like, "What?" They really drug their feet. It took Roger Campbell, my boss, to really sell them on it, because you're basically saying, okay, it's 2004, 2005, and you're teaching kids in this communications department technology from 10, 15, 20 years ago.
I was still taking classes that were still using old SVHS tapes. That was 2004. They started. We started doing digital at that point. That's when the HD cameras started coming out. Because I remember recording on those.
Well, which is funny because when you guys were doing the media stuff, I was doing journalism, and the journalism was still teaching people how to develop film, despite the fact that there was digital cameras.
Right.
So I'm like, I don't want to develop film. One, I have asthma, and two, I just don't want to be in a dark room doing that. It's boring. Digital cameras are so much easier to work with. I get the cost in 2004 was pretty high.
Yes, yeah, it was.
And during the end time of the second year of my journalism program, the college bought one digital camera, and I was able to go out and take pictures with it for a day. And it's because some of these students they have to share.
Right.
So that was we for a project. I needed the digital camera for a day. I had to sign it out. I had to go do the project, return it, and then that was it.
Yep. And now being 2020. I mean, geez, I know we. The cost of that kind of stuff that we said, holy crap, it's so expensive now, is pennies. I mean, literally, I mean, something that probably cost to do that to that digital camera in 2004 which would have probably been like, let's say $20, is now probably $2 to do now.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can go on like Amazon, eBay, and get a digital camera super cheap now.
Well, and really, if you think about it, digital cameras are starting to phase out because cameras on iPhones and Androids are so damn good.
Yeah, unless you want 4K though, and the 4K cameras are super expensive right now. I actually priced some out, $600 for a decent model at minimum. Again, 2020.
That's if you're a photography person. Now, now before it died, I had the Galaxy S7. All right, I took a picture of East 4th in downtown Cleveland. Right, it was a very nice shot. There was water on the ground, so it had some puddles. They had the mood lighting on and whatnot. And I took a picture looking right down the street. Right, and so I uploaded it, and people were like, "Oh my God, what camera did you use?" Like, I literally got compliments, and they're like, what kind of big camera you use? And I said I used my cell phone. And then I got the, oh wow, because they go, that was a great shot.
I recently got a new cell phone, and it is the first cell phone I've ever had that can record in 4K. So I actually used it for part of an episode that I think I already posted on Haslage, which was a review of a computer here, and I recorded the first portion in 4K. But the first portion, the phone audio is bad. Okay, when you're trying to do recording on camera, it's horrible on a phone. What I should have had was a Bluetooth microphone.
Okay.
That would really pick up the quality. But
now when did you use the microphone on the phone itself? Or
yes, I did. That was my mistake. So the audio is kind of drowned out, and I'm like, eh. And in editing, I tried to tweak it, but it overmodulated it, and I'm like, I kind of had to go in the middle and go, okay, this is going to have to be good enough. But when you can have a cell phone that has a 4K camera / recorder on it, it's fantastic. I just wish the sound would catch up.
Yeah. Well, and unfortunately, unfortunately with cell phones nowadays, you gotta say, what do you want more? You want video? You want audio? Or, you know what I mean? And that's unfortunately me, because I always, as a DJ, somebody that deals with audio quite a bit, I'm always a little uppity when people are like, oh, here, I've got the MP3 on my cell phone. And I'm like, why can't you send it to me? And then I get I don't know how to email MP3s. I'm like, well, first of all, it's 2020. You should know how to do that. If not, then why are you in this business of being a cheerleading mom? Oops, did I just call somebody out? Anyway. Cheerleading mom. Oh, I know how to do this. No, you don't. So then you plug it in to the, you use that 1/8 inch and plug it into the thing, and the sound quality for the most part is all right, but then sometimes you don't get that good connection. It sounds like crap, and then that cheerleading mom is all up in your grill, and I'm like, well, if you would have got it to me and emailed me the MP3 and I could have played it off my program, we wouldn't have to go through this, would we?
Yeah. So
that's my little
right. So for anybody who's watching, you can catch the AR Haslage channel. You can actually listen to about 10 minutes of outtakes that I put up on the channel.
Yes, that is hilarious. What's in it? Like, was it just us being stupid?
It is just some overflow from an episode where the microphone was still on and we kept talking. It is. No, but it's nothing incriminating.
I'm scared to ask. Were we vulgar as hell, or?
I don't think it was too bad. If it was too bad, I wouldn't have put it up in the first place. But
okay.
The outtakes are also available on the archive at again archive.org. And I would like to thank Jeremy for participating in this recap here. Something I've been wanting to do since season 1, episode 2.
Yeah. We've only done one show. Okay.
It's the best time to do a recap.
Although one thing I did notice, which I thought was kind of funny on your end, you were chipper episode 1, season 1 about doing the intro. By season 2, you're like, yeah, okay, this, we can't, we're we're not endorsed, and our public views are ours and ours alone. Let's get into the show.
Yeah, they really took the wind out of my sails by making me have to do that. It took it from being fun to work.
I mean, look, you think of it this way: you got to play a little bit by their rules, and that's fine. Like I wouldn't have, to me, saying, hey, the views and opinions are ours solely. It should be implied, but it is what it is, because somebody will take, that's what the college think. But man, I'll tell you what, man, going through these episodes real quick, and now that I have the link to these, I am definitely going to take a listen. Doing those with you, and especially in the college setting, it was a lot of fun. I never had a dull moment, especially in those. And those were, I thank you for having me as a part of those, and part of them these now, because they're fun to do, just to get everybody's hot take on what was going on at the time.
Yep. And again, thank you for being the regular. I'm pretty sure you're in most of the episodes. I would be surprised if you were in all of them, but it's too bad we kind of misplaced an episode or two. Thank you, technology.
Right.
Yeah. But again, to everybody else, go ahead and check out the videos on the archive. The links will be included in the description here. And thank you guys for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching this video. We would also like to thank our contributors and patrons for supporting this video. If you wish to add to the discussion, post a comment below. Please remember to like, subscribe, and check out our other videos. Thank you for checking out our content. Before you leave, please remember to click like and then subscribe. If you want to receive notifications, do not forget to enable them by clicking on the bell. Then afterwards, check out our social media at HaslageNet and our website at haslage.net.